What is the best indication of the future? The only answer I can give you for that is by looking at the present, because you're not going to be able to look at the past to figure out the future. Your present is the best indication for what happens tomorrow. So, what's going on in this messy world today? All I can say is that China really screwed up. They manipulated their currency, and now what's coming out in the news is that this China virus actually came from China in a lab. And what happens when something like that happens and the entire world shuts down and messes up your economy? Not only yours, but the whole world's. Well, for starters, they got tariffs. Guess what happens next? Probably the downfall of your country. You're probably going to be indebted to every country that there ever was and there ever will be. You took away the lives of all the youngsters in your families across the world. Not only that, but you took the food out of their mouth. You took the money out of their wallets. You've been doing it for decades, and now it's catching up to you. So, you don't believe me? I'll start talking straight. So the US created a pact with Canada and Mexico. Canada, they've got a pretty good environment up there. They could probably maintain a 70-degree Fahrenheit environment with the use of the sun. They may be able to do some outdoor operations and even indoor utilizing 70-degree Fahrenheit and still have the sun without having to use so much energy to grow weed. But they got a pretty good environment for the yeast and mold test that you need for weed. Now for Mexico. Mexico is the new China. I've done my research. I've been to both countries, China and Mexico. Cost of labor is very similar. The peso is 18-1. Now, China, I feel bad for you, but you're going down, lassie. Anyway, let's stay with the straight and narrow. So, if all of this, let's just say China was trying to do an attack on the dollar and was trying to go outside the dollar, and they're not letting any of their companies exchange the dollar, and now you actually, it backfires on you because the buyers of the world, America, decide to go with it and shut down the entire world. What happens to all those companies that aren't making money? They need to find cheap labor. Where are they going to go? Mexico. What about China? All those companies now that are getting tariffs, so they're making no profit, and they can't convert their money into US dollar. You're basically fake millionaires. You're going to get out of there, and where are you going to go? Mexico. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que dinero? All right. You don't believe me. You think that the U.S. just prints money out of thin air. I know. I believe the same thing. But right now, shutting down the world. The world is now that much more dependent on the dollar in the future. All other currencies are hurting, squeezing tight. Inflation like a mother effer, way more than America. Yeah, we don't buy a few things, but guess what? In other countries, they don't have the money. They don't have the companies. They don't have the labor force. Everybody was shut down. In China, the world power is basically on a slow decline to fail, especially with the tariffs now. We have a pact with India. They've got all the same trading routes as China, so we're not going to be any worries. We have a wall built in Syria and Afghanistan and Iraq. It's basically on both sides of Iran to keep them from jacking with us. This was a geopolitical East versus West war. Basically anything that is a hedge against the dollar, you just force the entire world into it. Now, if they go digital, and create maybe a tax on services and goods, that's going to make it to where, yeah, you're still going to have the dollar, okay? Still going to be on the dollar, but you're just going to be able to go digital. So most places for big purchases are going to be taxed a little bit higher than normal. So now all those players in the game that have got all this money that are doing loopholes and getting around not paying taxes, if they want the product, they're going to have to pay the tax. These are mere possibilities. I possibly see us actually getting all of our paycheck in the future. What other is a mere possibility? What else could happen? You know what? With everyone in the world putting money into gold and silver and precious metals and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, you really, if you're going to buy all those, guess what do you say? How much do you have? You do it in dollars. Oh, I've got 50,000 worth in Bitcoin. It's $50,000 worth. How much do you have in gold? It's dollars. Everything is still dollars. Okay? The dollar's not going anywhere. It will remain. I promise you. I'll bet you $1 on that. Now, when all this money, it's basically people with extra money that are investing in all these different things. If the world or the powers that be decided they wanted to do a reset, which I know y'all have heard, level the playing field, type that into Google. Level the playing field, currency reset, new world order, whatever you want to type. You've been hearing everything about leveling playing field, currency reset. All right? How do you do that? What would be the best way to do that? One, since the entire world shut down, everybody could just go bankrupt and not owe anybody. At the same time, you could tell China, you owe us. Right? Now they're in debt to every single country and actually pay. But on top of that, now, if all the countries have inflation and you're trying to figure out a place to put your money, and you put it into the American economy, in the Dow, because that's basically your best bet, putting it into the U.S. stock market, what can they do? They can knock the bottom right out of every crypto, right out of every single stock in the Dow, and just level the playing field. They can reset it all right there, declare bankruptcy, and then tell China you owe. What happens? Everybody's on a level playing field. You got what you want. It's mere possibility. That's what I really think the end game to all of this was. Getting ready to go to a new economy, digital, still backed by the dollar. You can track everything. And anybody that's been manipulating or cheating the system is now got to be on the system. And they're going to have to be on the dollar. More than likely, when we go digital, it will be one digital currency that is a smart technology that can transfer money from country to country to country immediately. Split seconds, costs nothing. Word to your mother.